You ever have one of those moments where you do something small, something you expect to lead nowhere, and suddenly it blows up into something way bigger than you imagined? That's exactly what happened to a guy named David Atkinson, and trust me, this one starts slow but ends crazy. So David, right, he's a pretty normal guy. He worked hard, paid his bills, nothing dramatic about his life. A few years back, he gets into a minor car accident. Nothing wild, just a fender bender. Nobody injured. But the insurance company of the other driver is dragging their feet and refusing to cover the repairs. Now, most people would have dropped it. It's annoying paperwork, long calls, you know the drill. But David decides he's not letting it slide. He files a small claim in court, literally just to get the cost of the repair covered. We're talking a couple $100, maybe a little more. Nothing major. But here's where this story takes a left turn. When his case gets processed, the clerk looks at his documents, pauses, then tells him something odd. His name shows up linked to another unresolved file. A big one. David's confused. He didn't file anything else. He doesn't know what she's talking about. But she says, "Sir, you may want to check with the state's Unclaimed Funds Division." Now normally, you hear that and think it's a mistake. Some other guy named David. Some mix-up. But the clerk insists. So after the hearing, David goes home, jumps on his computer, and types his name into the unclaimed funds search system. He expects nothing. He's already laughing at himself for even checking. But then, a result pops up. Not one of those tiny $12 refunds or random utility deposits. No, this one is marked high value. David's heart is pounding now. He digs deeper. Contacts the office. And after confirming his identity and going through the process, they tell him this: years earlier, his father had taken out a life insurance policy, paid into it consistently, but never told anyone. After his father passed, the insurance company never notified the family. The money just sat there, untouched, year after year. How much? Not $1,000. Not $5,000. The policy was worth $46,000, and the company had been holding it the whole time. $46,000. Waiting. Dormant. Attached to his name, and he never knew. David literally went to court over a small repair bill, and instead walked into a forgotten inheritance he didn't even know existed. And imagine that emotional punch. You're not just getting money, you're receiving something your father worked for, paid for, intended for his family, but never got the chance to explain or pass down. David described the moment he opened that official letter as, like hearing his father's voice one more time. That hit me, that's real. He used part of the money to repair the car, sure, but the rest? He paid off debts, built savings, and set aside something to honor his dad. And just a reminder while you're listening, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, drop a like, and leave a comment. It helps push these unbelievable real stories to more people, and it keeps the channel growing. Anyway, the most ironic part? If David had accepted the original insurance denial, if he had ignored the court filing, if he didn't check the database, that $46,000 would still be sitting in a forgotten drawer of the state's records. Sometimes life gives you a nudge disguised as a problem, and that problem leads you straight to something you never expected.